All right, guys, welcome back to my recap for today. I said yesterday I was gonna do a recap today. Obviously, I always do, and I said yesterday I did about an hour stream yesterday talking about GameStop and kind of what might happen today. Yeah, I obviously traded the heck out of it this morning. The bottom line on this is just the fact of just how choppy it was. This is really choppy action, and it's funny because yesterday when I traded it in after hours, it had it was respecting technical levels really, really, really well. The setup yesterday in after hours was really nice. I mean, this is really great action. So like a little bit of choppiness in here, but that you would expect after such a large retracement. But I mean, here really nice breakout here, very clean, and then very clean action here. So with that in mind, coming into this morning and today, it was extremely choppy and not like what we saw in after hours yesterday. And yeah, I tried this one many times. I think I did some things well and some things not so well. My first trade on it was right here on this dip, as I thought it was just getting a little bit extended, and I wasn't anticipating the halt going down. I was buying a little bit earlier on in this candle, and then as it came down, it did end up halting going down. Yeah, you're down too. Up pre-market. Yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, no, I'll talk about kind of when to walk away and stuff like that, because it can be hard to do. But I've had way bigger loss days than this, and I know how quickly it can spiral out of control. Down, 500, then 750, then 1,000, then 1,500, then 2,000, then 2,500, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm so far down, why don't I just keep trading? And then it gets worse, and then you don't realize how bad it really gets in the moment, because you're emotional, you're emotional and you're not thinking clearly. So anyway, first trade on it was here on this dip, as I thought it was just getting rather extended to the downside. And then I guess I entered, I don't really remember getting out part of it here. I just remember being long 40 shares into the halt going down. And then it opened back up lower. It came down, tested $100. And at that point, I was down quite a bit on just my first trade there, but I wanted to give it some time. And then as this candle closed with over half the wick to the downside, so this is definitely there's some opportunity here for a bullish reversal, which we eventually got. So I'm sticking with it, trying to be patient. And then I think I was holding full size 40 shares into the halt going up. And then as it resumed higher, it wicked down, and then was a very small red candle for a period of time, and then flipping green barely, and I liked that, looking extremely bullish there. So I was looking for that jump up. I really wanted it to just rip upside, but we didn't quite get that. It kind of faded back down. I closed 20 shares there, and then on the next candle, as it was coming down here, I got out the rest of my shares below my cost basis. So yeah, not great. And then the very next candle, it rips back to the upside. So straight off the bat, just kind of some frustration there on this trade. Really wanted more out of that, and obviously an entry down at 100 would have been a lot better there. Then, as you can see, just there's a whole lot of trades in here. One of the highlights from all the way in here, it's not a highlight, it's a low light actually, is my long right here, 25 shares at 123, so right here. And then as this candle was coming down, I set my stop on this. So I had 25 shares. I took like a little bit bigger size than some of my other trades in here. And then I was like, okay, I'm setting my stop below 120. If it goes below 120, I'm cutting it. It dips below 120 briefly. I get stopped out at like 1951. Yeah, right here, 119.51, and then immediately it rips back up 129, and then the next minute up to 134. That would have been a very nice trade, $250. It would have been. But unfortunately, I got stopped out, and so I took a loss on that instead of the idea was right, that engulfing candle back to the upside looking to make a new higher high, and that did happen. I just got stopped out, so again, very frustrating. It just seemed like every time I was buying it, all the buyers were going away. Like, I bought it here, immediately it just goes against me. I'm cutting it here as it's coming down, candle pops back up, we get this dip. I'm buying again at 128 as it looks like I want to get that next candle to kind of ramp back up, making a test, looking for the test of VWAP, looking for the next higher high, looking for a higher low to be put in here. But no, it comes down again, just super choppy, nothing happening here. And then as it's looking like it's going to curl up here, and I'm still holding those 25 shares. I'm buying on this. I'm still in here from this trade, looking like it's going to curl. I'm giving it some time, and then again, it just crashes back down a little bit here, and I stop out. And so just super choppy, and just not really the momentum that we got in after hours yesterday on this name. And so just black. So as it comes up here, I'm in again, and I'm double the size, 50 shares. I really want to get this one through VWAP. I don't want to miss that move. And as it's coming up here, it looks like it's gathering momentum. Volume is increasing. Everything looks good here. I'm in at 131. For a minute, I'm up on the position, and then the very next minute, just crashing back down. Big engulfing red candle here just brings us right back down. So very frustrating. I give it a little bit more room. I'm like, okay, some of these other trades, I'm just getting chopped out and then it's ripping back up. So I want to give this one some time. But then on this red candle where it's coming down, looking like it's starting to reverse and make lower lows, I just got chopped out. I got out of the trade. And then, just a few minutes later, we start ramping back up. At this point, after this trade, I think I was down probably 1,000. I think I was probably down 1,000 on it at that point. And so at that point, I said, okay, I've hit $1,000 loss, and I kind of have a rule. $1,000. That's kind of the point where I'm like, I look to kind of throw in the towel, or at the very least, I need to reduce my share size quite a bit. So as you can see, my next trade, I only took 10 shares as it was looking like it was ramping back up again. And at this point, I was just thinking, okay, I'm down 1,000, and what have I learned in the last 40 minutes trading this stock? I should take something away, and what I took away is I just can't trust it. It's not gathering the momentum that I want. I'm not getting the move higher. Really, I should, if I want to take another trade on it, really, I should wait until it's over VWAP, because at least then it's showing some signs of strength. But until it gets over VWAP, I really can't trust it. So I only took 10 shares. I'm the type of trader that I want to get in at the better entry, and I want the anticipation of the move that's about to happen. So there's a trade-off. I always talk about the trade-off between buying in anticipation of the move that you think is coming, right? So in that scenario, you get the better entry because you're buying in anticipation of the break. So the break hasn't happened yet. Or you can buy during the breakout where the break is happening, you get a worse entry because, so if take this like break of VWAP, for example. If you're buying in anticipation of the break, maybe you buy on this red candle that comes down here, you see this first candle coming up, so you're like a buyer kind of in here, versus so this would be in anticipation of the break. The break hasn't happened yet of VWAP. Actually, there was a rejection, so even more of a little bit of a ballsy entry here. And then here, if you're buying, you might be buying up here during the break. So are you a breakout trader, or are you buying in anticipation of the break? I like to buy in anticipation of the break because you get a better entry, and you will benefit from being able to capture all the profit between where your entry is and where the break is happening. You get the distance between your entry and the resistance point, and if the break does happen, you get all the stuff, all this room from the resistance point higher as it breaks through that point. So I like to be in anticipation of the break. The only downside of that strategy is that because the break hasn't happened yet, there's less likelihood that that break or whatever pattern you're looking to form, there's less of a chance that will pan out, because you're betting on something that is further out in the future and hasn't really established itself yet. Okay, moving on. I only took 10 shares here, holding through all this because it's very small size. Comes up here. I'm like, finally, we're getting the break of VWAP. It comes up here. I'm like, all right, it's finally happening. And then rejection, right back down. I'm cutting it. I actually got out above my cost basis on this one, but I did cut the position. And then, the very next minute, it looks like it's gathering support again, looking like it wants to test again. And then here, as we're getting that break, I bought on this dip right here before the breakthrough VWAP. Very nice candle here, and this was my only good trade. I made about $100 on this trade because I got in 135, out at 145, 10 shares. That's $100. So after that trade, I was down 950 on it. So I was down 1,050. Then then with this trade, I made $100 back. So just a little small dent in my losses. I made about $100 and then down 950, and then as I was looking to come up here, I was patient on it, and then on this candle I bought 20 shares as I was really looking for that continuation higher, which we got very briefly, and I thought, okay, it's finally happening. We're making that move upside, and unfortunately I was only able to get 5 shares out as it was crashing back down. Huge rejection here. And that is just so frustrating, man. Like, we're just not getting that momentum. We're not getting the squeeze. It's huge market sell order here. Someone sold a crap ton of shares. Oh, so frustrating as it comes back down here. I try to be patient on it. Looks like maybe we're trying to come back up. We're trying to gather strength, holding through this dip, coming back up, ramping up. Okay, here we go. Maybe now. And then no, crashing right back down. Cutting the rest of my shares at 136 for a loss, and at that point I was like, I'm so done with this, man. These 3 candles form where again VWAP is support here on this candle, on a slight dip like right in here. You see my entry at 140.64, 20 shares again. So at this point I'm down 1,050 again because I made about $100 on this one, lost about $100 on this one, so I'm back down to my low. Then on this, we get this crash down here, but the wick comes back up. There's a wick forms here, and the candle actually closes above VWAP, so I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, we had a nice flush there, but we actually picked up some support. Bid came in, and then this candle just totally gives way, crashing down. And I tried to be patient on it and wait for the pop back up, but I ended up getting out at 126, which is just down here. So not a great exit. So this is where I just was like, okay, this is just not working. It's just not working. We're not getting the move. It's just not happening with this one right now. And it's very possible. It's consolidating below VWAP. I guarantee. I mean, I say this stuff and I'm wrong a lot of the time, but I guarantee we'll get a move in the afternoon. Upside, we could see 200 again end of day. I really strongly believe that. Once this low got put in at 100, I zoomed out and drew this kind of longer time frame trend lines from after hours yesterday, and I mean, this consolidation in this area is bullish. A breakout through 165, 170 is definitely it's not in the cards. So this is where I'm just like, do I want to? I'm down 1350 on the day. I've had bigger loss days, certainly. This is a large loss day, but what's frustrating is it seems like every single time I have a red day, I'm down, like it's a big red day. All my red days seem like they're bigger than I would like. But today I kind of chalk that up to the fact that we have GameStop. It's moving, or at least we thought it would. I thought it would move. I liked it for a test of 175 here, and maybe the break of that level. I mean, I thought really this had room up to that point, so I was looking for that. I was looking for that move back to the upside. We've seen GameStop do that before, so I'm not upset that I tried it multiple times, because all we needed was that squeeze to happen. And the choppiness in here is really what got me down early. I'm not upset that I tried it. I'm upset that it just seemed like my timing was off. I definitely had some mistakes, but I think this is the right point to be like, okay, I'm down a lot right now, but I've been down a lot worse. It can get a lot worse, and I know. So I'll show you guys my my month right now. I know that with a minus 1350 here, take these 3 days and you get over 1350 right here. These 3 days are about 1350. So these are 3 solid days. This wipes out about 3 solid days of gain. I mean, 3 solid days of gain, that's not the end of the world. This has been a good month, and this will be bad for sure. It's a bad loss. It's my largest loss on the month. And if you look at my drawdown, I'm almost back to all-time highs. I'm literally coming into today was $430 off of my all-time high in my day trading career. Basically, as you can see, my P&L is very, very close to that high, and I've been kind of chopping around for a while. But I feel like I've kind of been steady in February and been trading well. And I think part of trading well is when you do incur a big loss day, being able to walk away, right, and being disciplined. I don't want to turn this day into a $2,000 loss day or a $2,500 loss day. I don't want to let that happen, because then I feel like I'm starting to revert back to bad trading. When you incur a big loss, it's important to walk away. Right now it's a big loss, but it can get a lot bigger. I've had bigger losses. My biggest loss in a single trade, or my biggest loss day ever, was November 10th of last year. I lost $4,000 in one day. So right now I'm at $1,350, so a little more than 25% of that loss. And in terms of, I've been down even more in a trade that I didn't close, like unrealized loss. I've had bigger unrealized loss than that. So I'm just in this place right now where I see GameStop ramping up here. It's coming up through VWAP again, but can we trust it? Can we trust it? No, we can't. It came up through VWAP strong here. It got rejected multiple times. It tested. It should have gone there, in my opinion. It should have. And it just kept getting rejected, came down here, up through VWAP again, and then right back down. Now up again. What do we think is going to happen? Is it finally going to go, or is it going to fail? I think you can expect that it will fail. I also expect that with all these tests of this level, the more times you test a level, the more likely it is that you're finally going to get the break of that level. So I do think in the afternoon it's an incredibly possible scenario for it to run in the afternoon. So I don't want to trade it now during lunchtime. If the move's going to happen in the afternoon, I don't want to continue to get chopped around. So the first question I have to ask myself is there even a possibility that I will continue to trade today? I think the answer to that, there's two different questions. These are the kind of questions you have to ask yourself, like when you're in this type of scenario. The first question is there a possibility that I will come back to trade today? The answer to that question is yes, because guaranteed it's yes. There is definitely a possibility that I continue to trade today. And the other question is, should I come back to trade today? And the answer to that question is a lot more debatable, right? Should I come back? I have 1350 loss, right? I can make that back. It'll take me some time, but I will make it back eventually. I've had way bigger losses before that I've come back from, so I know it's possible, and I know I can do it. So there's that aspect of it. But will I come back to trade today? I think it is likely that I will, and that might be a mistake. If I see this ramping up in the afternoon, it will be hard to stay away. I think the key is take smaller size and look for the entries. Look for solid entries. That's what I did yesterday when I traded this in aftermarket. I traded this really, really well yesterday. And this is such beautiful action. Here, it respected the technicals. It traded incredibly well. Very little choppiness in here. Very awesome break here that I totally missed because I think I wasn't watching it or something. I went over these trades yesterday in my recap yesterday where we were talking about GameStop for like an hour. But anyway, really, look at this. Only 10 shares. I wish I had taken more, obviously, but it's such a good setup. And it goes, and it goes, and it goes, and it goes. Awesome. Totally awesome. Some choppiness in here. Shouldn't have traded it. It was consolidating. There's definitely some trade opportunities in here. But But yeah, so oh wow, so look at this now. It's definitely making a higher high from where it was here, but really it needs to get above 150 to. I think if it gets above 150, you'll see a lot of volume start to come into this, because I think that's when traders like myself will start to look at this more seriously. But I just do not trust this, man. I do not trust this. If I trade this again, it has to be a good setup. Yeah, you're done with it, Dean. Yeah, I don't blame you. I think you can't go wrong just walking away. Like, if you're in my shoes right now, you just cannot go wrong just walking away from this right now. And even if it goes to 200, 250, just don't trade it, because even if it goes up, you can still lose money if the stock's going up, you know. It's all about your entries and exits. So if I chase this right here and I buy it right here, I'd say this is a bad entry. This is a terrible, terrible entry. Do not buy it right now. But, you know, mistakes get rewarded. Look at it push now, 145. So we got the break of 145 there briefly. But again, over 150, that's really the spot. That's where it failed right here, was at 150. Let me take my trades off the screen. Here this wick pushed over 150 and got rejected. So we'll have to see what happens. I don't like that it's lunchtime right now, but what I do like is the overall setup right now. This downtrend line, the target right now is about 168, 167. And then you have this support that came in beautifully. I wish I had drawn this line before, because I only drew this line when this support did come in. But if you saw this support line and you saw this candle come down, you bought there. I mean, that's obviously that's perfect, ideal. But yeah, I mean, it could absolutely go here. It's just, for me right now, if I didn't have the loss, right? If I were, you know, if I hadn't traded it today yet, if I had zero P&L on the day, it'd be a totally different story. In fact, I might have found an entry somewhere in here. Honestly, I don't see a good entry on this yet. I really don't. I don't see it yet. But if I had zero P&L on the day, I would absolutely be looking to trade this, even now, even in lunchtime, because people say don't trade during lunchtime. I disagree. Just look for the volume, look for the momentum. If there's volume and momentum, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. They just say typically during lunchtime you don't get volume and momentum. Okay, well, if there is volume and momentum during lunchtime, then yeah, I'm going to trade it. You can sit out. I'll trade it and get the move. You know what I mean? But anyway, we really need to see this over 150 right now. And if it gets there, I might look for. It's hard to stay away. If this thing starts to go, it's going to be hard to stay away from it. So, multiple questions I have to ask myself: is it best for me to just close the trading platform, walk away for the day, which part of me really wants to do? Just close the trading platform. I'm done for the day. 1350, yeah, it's a bad loss, but it's not that bad yet. I've had days where I've gone down about this amount. Frustration really started to set in, and I was like, screw it. I'm entering in. I'm going in. And I've learned the hard way that will screw you. That will screw you. I've had scenarios like that on GameStop before. And then I've had days on GameStop where I traded it really well. But I bet you most traders that traded it today, I mean, look at it now, coming back down. Maybe it wants to back test VWAP. I bet you most traders that traded it today lost money, 100%. If at least in the RTH session so far, guaranteed most people trading this have lost money. This is extremely difficult to trade right now, extremely difficult, because it's just not pushing yet. And there's so much choppiness in here, so many places to get screwed. Huge dip on the open. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it touched this support beautifully and then halted going up. I mean, there was a nice move here for sure. But I agree with you. The push down off the open was definitely scary. But now that I've drawn these lines in, it's the technical outlook of it is starting to make sense. And the target is 165, and then 180, and then 200. And then if we break 200, obviously sky's the limit up until, well, not really, actually. We have some resistance at 212 from the bottom of this, the low of this candle here. So, I mean, there's a lot of levels on this, but but a lot of choppiness right now. And right now, if I'm looking at this just like this, and I haven't traded it, no bias, just looking at this setup, I think it looks good for a move to 165. Absolutely. I don't know if it's just I don't know if it'll do it now or if it'll do it in the later in the afternoon, and I don't trust it at all to do it now or later. I think I would trust it more to do it later, but I like right now it looks like it kind of looks like it wants to go, but again, this volume is kind of pathetic. There's really not a lot of volume here. We need more volume to come in, and I think that will start to happen over 150. That's really the spot. So yeah, that's really the spot. Anyway, I'm wrestling with this right now. I'm really wrestling with this because it's, you know, I almost guarantee I can just see it now. I can just see it now. The afternoon squeeze through 200. I can see it now. You know, I'm not saying buy this because that's gonna happen. I'm not giving advice. I'm just saying it would happen that I would be down this much at this point in the day, walk away from trading, make the right decision, and then it goes without me, and I have tremendous FOMO, and I just like really wish that I had traded it in the afternoon. But even if it squeezes to 200 and I do come back to trade it in the afternoon, there's definitely the possibility that I just lose more money even though it's going up. It's very easy to get chopped out on this even if it's going up. So it's difficult. Yeah, if it gets over 150, you could definitely take stabs at it over 150. I would say that is that's fine. But wait till it gets over 150. Until it gets over 150, just stay away. But look at that. Okay, so there's a good entry there. There was a good entry right there. It was very quick though, if you wanted to take it. I love that entry. And it could fail here. Anything can happen, but that was the spot for the anticipation of the break of 150. This is the move now. It needs to happen now. So within the next 5 minutes, it needs to get over 150. If it doesn't get over 150 in the next 5 minutes, I'm done. No, I'm just kidding. But look at this now. The setup is good. It just needs to go. The volume needs to come in, but that's not happening yet. So let's watch this for a few minutes and see what happens. And it's, you know, I'm gonna get FOMO on it. If it goes over 150, I'm feeling like I'm mad and I'm upset and I'm pissed. But you know what? Those are normal emotions, and those I can expect to feel that right now. So it makes sense. My timing was terrible, but here it goes now. Volume was better on that candle, but we still need to see more. And we need it to, I mean, 145 is the first spot, and then 150. But yeah, don't enter it now. If you aren't in it, don't go in it. It can definitely go up, but there's not a good entry yet. I think what you need to wait for is over 150, and then the setup after that move. I think if it breaks over 150, look for consolidation and like a back test of that of 150. So you want the squeeze through 150, then the retest, the consolidation, and then the setup for a move higher, and that's where the next entry would be. So if this continues to push, the next entry won't be for probably another 10-15 minutes, the next really good entry, which gives you some time. But I do want to watch this. You know, the thing is, too, what I was thinking about earlier, too, is I think, like, what are the trade restrictions on this right now? Because I know a few weeks ago when this was squeezing, TD Ameritrade put really some heavy margin restrictions on trading this stock. You couldn't borrow that much on margin trading this. They increased, like, the margin requirements, and I don't know that that's still in effect. I think you might be able to take 200-300 shares of this stock today, and now we're looking over 150. There, it just tapped 150, so now it's squeezing. Volume needs to increase more. If this is legit, volume really needs to pick up. We still have a higher volume sell candle right here on this rejection, and that candle has a pretty big wick on the top half of it, which is interesting. But here it's testing 150 again. Will it break 150? Or will it reject again? I think it might break here. Yeah, this is looking good. This is looking good. It needs more volume. There's not enough volume. More volume. Over 150, there it is. Okay. Over 150, it's at 152. So now it's picking up. Again, the target is 168. It could do that all in one move. If it does, then I'm just gonna miss it. It's as simple as that. If it goes in one fell swoop to the upside, then I'm just gonna miss it. It looks like that's not gonna happen. It's looking like it's losing some strength here. I mean, look at these wicks on this. I'm not making any conclusions on it just yet, but definitely don't buy this right now. That's for sure. There's no good entry on it yet. So we got the break of 150. This candle closed below 150, which is not a good sign. Whenever I see that, I predict, I can visualize this candle flushing down here and both candles closing below 150. Watch it happen. Watch it happen. I'm not saying it will. I don't know what the heck's going to happen. It's just fun to predict stuff when you're not in the trade. Okay, well, this is good. So the other scenario is this makes a new high above that wick. There we go. So now we're above that 152.25 point. Okay, so this is starting to look better, but I still don't like the volume. It's not enough to confirm the move. Will it break 155? There it is, the break of 155. Man, I wish I were in it, but I'm not. So remember when I said that there was that solid entry? That was right here. That was right here at 140. That was the last good entry. And it was a really good entry, as you can see now. It's up to 157. So it is kind of going all in one fell swoop right now. The target is 168, so it still has a ways to go. Okay, pull back. First pull back. Dipping, dipping, dipping. Let's see how sharp this dip is. You know, my thinking is dip trade is definitely tempting, but could be a mistake. The good thing is that we're making new highs on, you know, we're above this point here. So, I mean, the target, and we do have increasing volume. The volume is definitely increasing right now. Okay. I want to see a bigger pullback. This is otherwise it just looks like it's just going straight up. Still no good entry on it. Definitely don't buy it here. You know, just because I say don't buy it here doesn't mean that it's not going to go. Could go to 170 right now. This is a nice candle though. Let's see. So we have one more minute after this minute. So if this minute, okay, well now it's flipping red. But if it had stayed green there, let's see if this candle can close green. If this can close green, then the next minute might push. Oh, okay. Or this minute. Let's watch this for the reversal green. Nope, dipping. Okay, so here's the pullback. And what the problem with this is if this candle closes at the low, what does that do to the 5 minute? Because this is the last 1 minute in the 5 minute candle. So this 5 minute candle will close at the end of this 1 minute. So what that means is if this candle closes down here, this 5 minute candle is going to look very wicky topside, as it does even right now. This candle's got to flip green and push, which it has to do that right now. Here it goes. So there it happens. It's flipping green. It needs to push. Volume needs to increase. It needs to go. Let's see if we can do that. Here it goes. Here it goes. And there you go. So that is a sign that this move is very legitimate right now because the volume, okay, everything is looking good on this. Volume coming in higher than this sell volume. and that allows this 5-minute candle to close more toward the high of the candle, which means that there's more reason for room upside, which we're getting right now. So you see how all those stars kind of align on that? You get the pullback, the wick to the downside, big bullish candle, and then at the same time it was the last candle in the 5-minute candle. So that makes it so that since this candle closes toward the high up here, the 5-minute candle closes at its high, which means, and that just means that the technical outlook looks better, right? If this 5-minute candle had closed down here, like if the candle had closed here, the 5-minute candle would have closed like here, then the next 5-minute candle would have opened around here, and that just doesn't look as strong. It's just not as strong of a technical setup. I'm not saying that since the 5-minute candle closed near its high, that means that it's going to push. But I'm saying it does mean that there's a better chance that it's going to push. So we'll see what happens here. I like the fact that it's consolidating around this 155. The pullback into 150 was not a bad entry, but I was just a little bit scared since it was the last minute in that 5-minute, and if it closed down there, it wouldn't have looked so hot. So we're getting a little bit more of a pullback now. Okay, there's a big pullback. If I had my hand on the buttons there, I might have punched the buy on that dip. That could have been a good entry. I missed it. Probably I would have taken that. I had my hand like on the keys, but not like on the keys. You know what I mean? Oh wow, look at that. So a quick pop from 148 back up to 152. Yeah, we need to. This needs some more time now, about 10-15 minutes to consolidate before making its next push, in my opinion. That would be the best case scenario. You know, the best case scenario isn't just straight up. I mean, it is if you're in the stock, but if you're not in the stock and you're looking for a place to get in, then you really want to see it set up a little bit better. So let's see how deep this pullback takes us. Okay, so there was a pretty good dip right there. It might see lower. Let's see if it is going to go lower. Okay, this is looking like this pullback's starting to become pretty aggressive. But here's a dip into 147. Now you could buy this here, but it's a little bit more risky because this was the dip, and now this is a second minute of dip, so this is a stronger sell pressure just because the price has moved lower. Volume's also decreased. Okay, I put an order to buy there just because I think that, yeah, so that looks good. That's what you got to look for. Move back up to 150, 151. So I didn't get filled. I canceled it right away because I wanted that move to happen pretty quick. It did, but I just didn't get filled, so whatever. Let's see, how many dollars would that have been? 148 to 151, so on 20 shares, $3, that would have been 60 bucks. So again, I'm trading with really like a lot smaller size right now. I'm not trying to eliminate my whole loss on the day. I'm not trying to make everything back. You know, that's not the strategy. That's not a wise thing to do. But this candle bringing us all the way back up through 150, looking good. Looking good for continuation higher. Look for see, it's gonna go right now probably. There wasn't really a great entry. I mean, obviously on this dip where I tried to get in was good, but I want to see this set up a little bit longer. Maybe flag out right here. I want to see this kind of flag out. Then at that point you might get a better entry. So maybe something like that. See it hang out in here for a bit. If this does kind of pan out, spend some time in here, I might look for an entry. But again, very, very small size. It would be very small. Guys, if you haven't hit the like button already, come on. You gotta hit the like button. We're watching this happen right now. I'm not in it. I lost $13.50. The least you can do is send me a like, you know, for my one like equals one tier. one wiped away tier. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm still enjoying this, man. You know, I do feel good in some sense that I'm only down 1350. It sucks to be down 1350, but I've been down more, and I know my emotions right now, and I know that I want to trade it. Okay, maybe an opportunity on this now as it kind of breaks down out of this range. And so see, I put my hand on the hotkeys right there because I want to trade. I want to look for that next opportunity. I want that dip trade. So look, even if I had bought it there, that's 147 back up to 149. That's $2 a share. The P&L, the amount that you soak out of the trade isn't really how you should judge how good a trade is. Because I would have only bought 20 shares there, caught a $2 pop to the upside. So you're probably thinking $40, like that's a nothing trade. Okay, yeah, but if I were trading full size, 50 shares, 100 shares, that could have been $200, $100, $200. Starts to sound a little bit more lucrative. So it's not really about your share size is relative to kind of where your P&L is on the day and your risk tolerance. Your share size will change. But the setups don't change, and now it's starting to come down a little bit more here. So this pullback is becoming the line in the sand here. Look for the line in the sand is right here at 140, around 145. 145 needs to step in. Buyers need to take over at 145 or at any point right now. And I will delete this triangle that I drew because it did not pan out that way. But maybe here this it has room to 145, no lower. I mean, obviously anything can happen. It could go back down to VWAP and then take off. Again, it is lunchtime, so you know, there's still a lot left in the day. This could peter out, and then we catch a move in the afternoon. Okay, so right now, just to be in the trade, just to have something, I'm going to, if I can get, okay, so I just got filled 10 shares right there at the bid, 149. So I have 10 shares. Just because I like this entry right here, and I realize that there's more room in this triangle to fill out, so I'm not sure what's going to happen, but this would be a good, this is a good entry point. Pretty good entry. There may be 5-10 more minutes it hangs out in this section here, but the breakthrough 154 is what I'm looking at right now. Then through 155, and then the back of mine, the larger view is up to 167, 168. There's definitely potential, but again, it might need more time to kind of shake out right now, and consolidate. I think my stop on this trade will probably be below 145. That's kind of the line in the sand that I drew, is 145. And what I like about this too is it's actually 145.10. So I think what I'll do, well, actually, yeah, screw it. Because it's 145.10, I was going to say, if you had an actual position here and you really wanted to be conservative, you put your stop below that level, below that darn level. You put your stop at 145.09. all right, and you don't hesitate. 145.09 and you are out. But because it's only 10 shares, I'm gonna put it below 145 even right here, and if we go below that, I'll be out. It's 10 shares, my entry is 149, so my max loss is about $40. So at worst I'll be down 13.90 on the day, and that'll be that. But I like this setup. I think it's consolidating nicely here, and if we do get a push through, you know, I mean, obviously as more time, as the longer we hang out here, the more I like it, and the longer we hang out here, this trend line's coming lower. The breakout spot is decreasing in price by the minute. So yeah, it's the break over 150. That's what we want right now. It's at 148, and then to get out of this kind of consolidation, we need 150. Really, we'd like to see 155. That would be best. Then over this high is 158, and then back of mine 167. So we'll see what happens here. Again, this is super small size. I've already lost what I'm gonna lose on the day, pretty much. I'm not gonna add to this position, nothing like that. But you can see how it's starting to kind of curl here, starting to kind of maybe ramp up a little bit. The volume is super low, obviously, but the last buy candle we got was higher volume than the last like 8 candles. If you notice that, we have this buy candle is more volume than like the last like 10 minutes, which is a good sign. That means buyers are ready to buy it when it's going up, and now it's going up again a little bit, but again, until we get over 155, making no judgments or conclusions about what's going to happen. All I can say is the setup right now looks good, and if we're going to see continuation, it's going to be over 155. The support is at 145 as it's kind of crashing down here. It looks like I might get stopped out. There it is. I got stopped out. I mean, you know, this is just how it's traded today. It's so frustrating, so frustrating. And with each loss like that, more and more. Okay, so there could be a dip trade on this. Dip trade, I'm going to go up to 20 shares if that does come through. But with each trade like that, I say, you know, I gotta. More and more, I just think I should walk away. I should just walk away. Because, I mean, how many times, let me show my trades again. How many times have I tried this? Well, I've tried it a lot of times. And every time, it's failed. This was a good setup. And it just broke down. It just totally broke down. It did not respect 145 at all. It just broke right through it. Just crashed. It just died, like, instantly. It gave no respect to that level. And that is so different from what we saw yesterday, where it was respecting levels really well. Look at this perfect tap of 200 at the high here. Look at these bottoms coming in kind of right here at this support line. I actually didn't draw this line in right here. Really nice flat top breakout here that I missed and wished I hadn't missed. But yeah, I mean, it just, you know, this is the spot where you look for consolidation, you look for it to ramp up and start making new highs, and it broke down. Obviously, it's allowed to break down. Anything can happen. My only point is that not only are the setups not working, it's not respecting technical levels. So that's just where I'm like, it becomes very difficult to trade, because as a day trader, what do you look for? You look for technical levels. You look for setups. And when it's not abiding by the setups and the patterns and it's trading irrationally, then, you know, what are you going to do? It becomes very difficult to trade. Yeah, I mean, it was BS in a way, but it also was like, you know, anything can happen. So, like, my stop point was 145, which I thought was, you know, good, which was a good point. It's now kind of trying to come back above that level, which is not unlikely. But, I mean, I liked the entry, and I had my stop there. I got stopped out. That was the trade. So, perfect execution of a trade that didn't work out. Never give up. Well, today I might give up. Because part of day trading is knowing when you should give up. I mean, I agree with you. In the long run, I won't give up. You know, obviously I'll be back. This is now looking like $1,400 of loss today. Is, you know, a lot, but I've suffered worse. And but today, probably the right thing to do is probably throw in the towel today. And come back another day when there's a stock that's really moving and respecting technicals and is really a good one to trade. And right now, GameStop, I'm a little underimpressed, I have to say. Yesterday, I talked at length about what GameStop might do today, and I was saying that I really liked it because, and why did I really like it? Well, it's because of the setup and after hours yesterday looked really, really awesome. It looked like maybe the break of 200 was coming. It looked great. And now coming into today, it's showed a lot of weakness. Even though it hit 100 at the low and is now back up to 147, the way it's gotten there has been so choppy and just really kind of terrible. The only good setup, the only good entry I've seen literally all day on this was just right here. Arrow, can I use the arrow tool? Right there. Right there. Ooh, I hate these arrows. These are gross. Ew, ew, ew. Right? How do I like point it? Can I do anything with this arrow? Or it just sits there? That's stupid. whatever. Right here on this red candle, this was the best entry all day. Because on this candle, you got to move from 140 to 157. And if you buy it here, you have a really good, I mean, there's an outlook for it to go up, and it did go up. So that's kind of what you look for in a setup. And yeah, so you have a low here, higher high, higher low, and you're looking for that higher high, and you got it. And yeah, that's the best entry that there's been all day. And when I say the best entry, I mean, yeah, there are spots where you could have soaked more. You could have entered here at 100 and up to 132. That's $30, but it's not a good entry necessarily. I mean, it is actually, this is kind of a good entry because if you have this support line drawn in and you enter at 100, look at how it taps that. It does respect that technical level very well. It's respected this channel well, but between that and on a more micro level, it's been extremely choppy and very weird action. And now what I'm thinking is it recovered back up into this range. It's kind of a false break below the level. So, you know, I want to enter it again right here because I think it's ramping back up. It looks like it might want to push. And you could set your stop below. The problem is the stop below 145 doesn't really work right now. I'm not sure where the stop is. That's the issue. But now up to 148, and this is just how it's trading right now. It could definitely go to 155, and if it does, I'm going to be super frustrated because I had the right idea. I liked the setup. It was good. It just gave a false break below, stopped me out, and then it ran. But we'll see. It's not necessarily going to run, but the setup looks decent. It definitely can. So right now it's just every time I enter it, every time I go in to trade it and I like the setup, it seems to just fail and just die. So for that reason, I think the right thing to do is probably stay away from it. But what's frustrating about that is that it's likely that in the afternoon or right now, or I don't know necessarily when, but it's very possible that it will give a move, you know, to 170, 180, 200 later today. I mean, who knows? Who knows? You can look at what the daily candle looks like right now with this huge wick coming down, and it's kind of ramping up. Maybe it's going to flip green by the end of the day. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I mean, anything can happen. That's a super aggressive prediction. So I'm not sure. I don't know any better than anyone else. All we can do is make predictions. Look how that candle closes above 145. Interesting. So this is a decent entry here. This is actually a decent entry. If you took this here, it's a decent entry. And I want to. I just think it's not gonna work because every time I enter it, it doesn't work. But that's the kind of mindset where you're gonna miss out because if you think it's not going to work just because all the other times you've traded it hasn't worked, that's not a good reason. That's not a good reason at all. But yeah, I mean, the volume is dying right now, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because it's pulling back, it's consolidating, it needs more time. But if it does break out of this triangle, you want to see the volume come in. I think that's what people are waiting for. You'd be shocked if it fades. You think it's definitely going to 200? Interesting. I mean, the setup looks good right now. I think move to 200 is definitely possible. Okay, you know what? I'm going to cancel that because it's just not the entry I want. I mean, it's good here. It's a good entry here. It's just not great. Like down here at 145 is better. But, I mean, with 10 shares, it's the difference of $20. So I'm not sure it's like really makes that much difference. Why don't I do options? Because options, you're leveraging a lot of shares, and I don't want to leverage that. I don't want that many shares. Options are bundles of 100 shares. That's a lot of risk. And also, why trade options when I can just trade equity? Well, now, man, this is going to piss me off, man. This is going to piss me off. If it goes here, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. And I'm allowed to be pissed, but I'm also allowed to check myself and go, it makes sense that I'm pissed. It makes sense that I would be pissed. And so in that sense, I'm kind of like yeah, it's a normal emotion that I can expect to feel. But now it's coming back down, so everything on this is just super annoying and frustrating and just really irritating. It's still in this triangle though, so as long as it's in this triangle, we don't really know its direction. But this is a bullish setup, I would say, but not by much. As it's crashing down, breaking. Look at that. Look at that. That entry I said was good. Right now, I'd be down. I'd be stopping out again. So good thing I didn't take it. I was about to say I would be frustrated because it looked like it was going to go. Now I'm a little bit less upset because it looks like it's breaking down. But look at now, it's back above 145. It's all about this 145 level. If it can hold above 145, it still has a chance to go. But it's all about 145, and then the target is 150. Guys, if you haven't liked the video, come on, hit like, man. I'm sitting here watching this with you guys. I've lost 1,400 today. Not a good day. Least you can do is throw me a like, you know, for my efforts. I tried. You can see I traded it like hell today. I had better luck yesterday. Today, not so good. And anyway, we're just waiting for this to squeeze to 200 because it's probably going to happen. And if it does, I'll be pissed. But I do want it to go to 200. Like I do want it to go up. Even if I'm not trading it, I want GameStop to squeeze because I like the stock. But if that candle can close like that, if this can close green, I like it. Let's see. There's a good entry here. There's a good entry here. Make no mistake, there's a good entry here. The stop is just unclear. It's just that the stop is unclear. Okay? So just be careful on this. See if I can grab the bid. There we go. It's going to break down below again. I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all. I don't buy this. I mean, I did just buy it, literally. But let's see if it can hold above 145 again. All these wicks downside make me think, you know, buyers are buying it here. So I'm going to join them. 10 shares. I mean, you know, the one thing is the stop is unclear. I'm not going to set a stop on this. I'm going to kind of go by the price action, which is definitely a little bit more risky just because when you don't know where your stop is, that's problematic. If this candle closes below 145, then that's my hint. But it closed above 145. This candle's testing it again. It definitely looks like it's bear flagging right now, but the fact that it's holding 145 means that this pennant here is still in play. This flag is still in play. So there's the break of 145 downside, but it's being bought back up. The bid's at 145 right now. And then there's the break of 145 again. So this is just really boring right now. Let's hold 145. Come on, buyers. Come on. What is this, man? Do we want this stock to squeeze or not? Do we want to go to the moon or not? Come on. The setup's good. This needs to close above 145, though. We've only got 8 seconds to close above 145. Come on, buyers. 144.70. Nope. 145. Oh, it was there for a second. But it closed. This candle closed below 145, but now it's back above. The bid is at oh no, okay, so I don't like this. The bear flag looks like the bear flag is winning right now. Good thing I only have 10 shares. You see what I mean? Literally every single entry, like all the setups, like nothing is working on this right now. It's very unreliable. It's very annoying. The way the stock is trading is very annoying. Because normally on a different stock, I would say that a setup like this, up until this point, this breakdown here was bad. That was the first sign. But this consolidation here in this setup looked bullish. Looks good. On any other stock, on any other day, I would take it 100%. I did try it here. Very small size, and it broke down. Let's see if the bid can step up to 150. Or sorry, 145. Nope. There it is, 145. Okay. Now we're back above 145. So still needs room to come down. I disagree. Hold the line. Yeah, exactly. Light sell volume. Yeah, no, I'm holding it right now. I mean, we're over 146 right now, which is good. But, you know, I don't trust it. I just don't trust it. I don't think this is extended. This is really a long period of consolidation. It had a huge pullback here. I'm just looking for the break out of this triangle, and then upside, first target, 155, 157. Buy volume is higher here, but I'm not convinced until we break out of this triangle. We need to break out of this triangle, and then the move to 155 is key after that. So we'll see. The thing is, I only have 10 shares, so it's very I'm very light on this because I feel like I've kind of done my trading today. I'm kind of just in it because I feel like the move is going to happen, and if I see a move that I think is going to happen and I'm not in it and I'm way down on the day and it goes to 200 without me, blah, 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 I'm just going to be pissed. Emotionally, it's going to do harm to me. But I don't know. I like to be in it because I don't know, even if I'm not making everything back that I lost, I think maybe I can make a little bit of it back, you know, and end the day on a green trade instead of a red trade, you know. But this candle needs to close above this triangle. This candle needs to close above this triangle, and there it does. And now it needs to not be a false break. We need to continue higher. So there's a nice break upside there. Volume's starting to come in now. This is good. We're only 10 seconds into this candle, and we have a good bit of volume here. So this is looking good here. Now we're really starting to rip now. So again, we need to see 157, 155, 157. I'm not selling anything. I want to capture this move if we get it. But we need more volume coming in. Volume is increasing, but it looks good, but I don't like how much wick we have on top right now. We need to eliminate that. Luckily, we still have 20 seconds on this candle. Okay, it's starting to peter out. See, this is what I don't like, is I can picture a huge rejection right now. There's could easily be a huge rejection. We only have 10 seconds to make our way up here. Watch for the rejection on this next minute. Unless we this is not looking good, guys. Watch now. It needs to go right now. It needs to scream over 153 right here. Boom. Scream over 153. Here we go. Over 153. It needs to go, 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 go. More volume, more momentum. I don't trust this. Oh, it's trying, but it just can't do it. Over 153 right now. Boom. We need to break over this wick. That's so important. If we don't break over that wick, I don't believe in the move. We need a new high on this move. We need to go, go, go. We can't see a pullback yet. We can't see a pullback yet. Nope. We need more. We need more. Come on, buyers. Volume's not high enough. This isn't good. Volume's not high enough. We got 10 seconds on this candle. Okay, I like that the candle's near the high of its range. It needs to close at the high of its range. Now, yes, that was good. Okay, very good. Now, good. Okay, awesome. We're above that wick. Now I feel better. Good, very good. No pullback yet. Awesome. Awesome. 157, that's the spot. Here we go. Come on. We need over 157. Over 157, we're making new highs. This looks good right now. Volume is excellent. Not excellent, but it's better because this candle now has higher volume than the last candle, and we're only halfway through the candle. But what we don't want is a big rejection, false break, and we don't want the look lower. We want the look higher. So I know I'm not going to unload all of this at once. So I don't like these wicks. These are and there we go. So it was a red candle there for a second. Oh, 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 oh. Let's try to sell on the see, this is so ugly, man. Look at this rejection, dude. Crazy, crazy. Crazy rejection. Some volume in there. So I like this wick downside if it wants to pick up. Let's see if this candle could flip green. We could flip this candle up green. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Flip green. Huge. Huge. Huge push green. We're back over 152. Can we get over 153? The bid is at 152. It needs to hold. Nope. It broke to 151. 150, 150. 151. Come on. Come on. Hold, hold, hold. Yes. The bid is almost... We want to see 152 on the bid now. 152. No. We still have 150, 150. We need... There's 152 on the bid. Okay, excellent. So not a breakdown just yet. But we just lost 152. I'm just watching the level too, and it's being very I mean, it looks like it's just, you know, chopping around, setting up a little bit. But now I don't trust it. No. This is not what we wanted to see. We needed higher. We needed to break above 155 there, and we didn't. So that is kind of disappointing. Really wanted the momentum to carry us through 155. But, alas, it did not. Any lower, and I'm probably just going to cut this one. Because the pullback needs to stop here. Find support at 150, and buyers need to step back up. Bids at 151, 151.30, 151.40, 151.50, 151.70, 152. Okay, so excellent. Strong bid at 152, and it just broke again. And 150 above 155 gives us a new pivot high here above this. And then above 158 is where we start to get into the blue sky of the RTH session. Well, not really. I guess it was at 170 earlier in the day. Very briefly. But I think there's a few things that look good about this right now. There's several things that look good about this right now. The 15-minute charts, it looks good on multiple time frames, which is definitely really good. And now there it is. There's the break above one. Now when you want above 158, that's what we're looking for. Nice volume. Very nice. Needs continuation and needs to break above 158. This is where we need to look for the squeeze. This is where we need the squeeze, guys. Only 10 shares on this. I'm not convinced by this candle yet because we need to get above 158. And over half of this candle is wick, which is not good. Okay, come on. It's coming up to test again. Here we go. Above 158. This is crucial right now. Right here. It needs above 158 right now. Ooh. Come on. Over 158. There we go. Come on. Break it. Break. Yep, there it is. Over 158. Excellent. Excellent. Now the target, which I almost guarantee we're going to hit 166 now with this. Wow. Huge squeeze there. Wow. Up to 163 very quickly. Okay. Guys, this is looking good. This is looking good right now. I'm holding. I'm holding because this is looking strong. If this really starts to go, then I want to be a part of it. Wow, the bid is grabbing 164, 165 on the bid now. Wow, this is really starting to take off. 164 on the bid, 164, 165, 165.50. Wow. Excellent strength here. 165, 160. Oh, we almost got 166. A little bit of a pullback here, a little bit. Sorry, I'll zoom in again. So it hit that level. I probably should have taken profit there. That would have been smart. That would have been smart, guys. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I was too busy watching the level 2, and I didn't realize that that was resistance right there at 166. See if it can maybe test that level again. Let me go down to 2 shares so I can take profit incrementally. Actually, screw it. Let's go down to 1 share because I can hit the sell. So I'm going to take 1 share off right there as we're coming back up. I like how this is forming. So even on 10 shares, up 160 bucks, not too bad. And wow, if this candle can flip green right here, wow, can we break 165? Wow. Oh wow. Okay, so now this is getting interesting now, because if we can break and hold above this downward resistance, we can really start to squeeze. Wow, here we go. Are we really going to start to squeeze now? This is the question. This is the pivotal spot on the larger time frame. You look at this now. I'm gonna take my trades off so you can see better. This is this resistance point. So now it's rejecting off that level, which makes perfect sense. I'm taking 1 more share off there. 1/5 of my position is gone. I want to give it a chance to break this level, because if it can break and with momentum, then you know the next target is 170, 175, 180, and then 200. This candle's closing green. This candle is closing very nicely. Wow, wow, incredible. So now this is looking very good. I don't know when we're going to see our first pullback, but what I can say is we saw a couple, wow, huge squeeze there. Oh wow, this is fun. See, this is the move you want to be a part of when it does work out. And now we might get something of a pullback now. But the buyers are still there. There's still a squeeze going on here. Wow, huge move happening right now. Up to 173. We have 173 on the bid right now. 174 now on the bid. 175 is on the bid. Holy cow. Guys, we have 176 on the bid. My goodness. I'm taking a share off here. So we're breaking out of this formation here. And all I can say is I wish I had more shares. But I think I did the right thing. We have 178.50 on the bid, 179. Guys, the target on this is starting to become $200 is the target on this now. 200 is the target. We have 170. We need to grab 180. The break of 180, we're going to see a huge squeeze if we can break through 180. And this is happening fast. We haven't even seen a pullback yet, which makes me a little bit nervous, because we can probably get a pullback on this, and you can't complain about that. And so here it is now. Okay, so my bid ask is totally failing me here. So we failed at 180 right there. If we get over 180, that's the spot. Where did I take my last profit on that? 176. Okay, I should have taken one off in front of 180. That was a mistake. See, things happen so quickly on this. But over 180, that's the new spot, over 180. And so now I love this, how buyers are coming in, and this candle has 10 seconds left. Wow, 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 wow. So look at how much of this candle is wick. If this candle flips green, I swear to God. Oh my God. Look at how that just got bought back up. So you see how that resistance becomes new support. The break of 180 is right here, and there's the squeeze. $3 a share instantly. Huge squeeze happening here. The target is 200. This should go to 200. There's resistance at 193, but we're above this level here now. This needs to see strength now. Wow, tremendous strength. 181 is on the bid, 182, 183 on the bid. Wow. So lots of strength here. Starting to stall out a little bit above 180. 180 needs to hold. That's crucial. 183.50. 184 was almost grabbed there. We didn't quite get that. So we're above 180. I'm going to take another share off here if I can. Nope. Uh-oh. Looks like we're failing. Okay. I can't. This is interesting action. We have only a few seconds left on this candle. 180 held there briefly, but it might fail as we close. Yeah. So Yeah, so 180 failed there. I'll give it a second here to pop back up, but I don't know. Let's take a share off there. So it was up above 180 and then it failed above that level. The candle as it came into closed red. So we don't have a candle that's closed above 180 yet. That'd be the first thing I want to see to ensure that this is still bullish. So that was a pullback. And yeah, I mean, best case scenario, this candle flips green and closes above 180. We're not getting that. Value is coming down now. Still holding over half my position. And the reason for that is I think 200 is the spot, like the big picture spot is 200. And what we want to see now is it's kind of back testing. Well, this is interesting now because we have a level here. I'm going to draw this out. It's not respecting this level though, so I'm not really sure what good it does. Sorry if I'm like really close to the camera. But there's this level here, which is the high pre-market there. Technically speaking, it doesn't seem significant, but it should be. Wow, huge, very, very awesome engulfing green candle here. We want to see this candle get above the high of that last red candle. Would be superb. Some weakness in here. So I'm gonna sell one at the bid there, unfortunately. It pains me to do, but it's the right thing to do. Just because this candle is showing some weakness, it showed strength initially, but now it's the volume is not good on this. And you know what sucks about it too is this huge wick up through here really doesn't look too great. But now as I'm looking at the 5-minute chart, it obviously looks really strong. But yeah, I mean the high, I still think back of mind 200 is the spot. But now that we have this huge wick, that's a sign of topping out, and now we're coming down. So the narrative is starting to change. The line in the sand is this resistance, is this support here. It was resistance, we broke through. It now needs to act as support. A breakdown through that level, which I think is going to happen here, honestly. Yeah, here we go. So there's the break of that. So there's a big dip happening right now. Could have bought that dip right there. I have one share here in my quantity, so I wasn't ready for it. Okay, so we're still moving lower. This is looking like it's dying a little bit. Yeah. I don't like to see this much lower, just because it's retracing pretty darn significantly. The next spot of resistance is here at 157, 158, but that's too far low. That's too far down. That's really we don't like to see. We wouldn't want to see it down there. Guys, if you haven't hit the like button, come on. You gotta hit that like button, man. I was gonna be done trading today, but I grabbed 10 shares. Where did I enter? Where was my entry on this? Okay, so my entry was right here, so pretty solid. So leave a like for that. I mean, you know, it's only 10 shares because I was gonna be done trading today. I already lost a lot on this earlier, trying to get a move like this. You know, that's what I was trying to get. But it needed more time to ramp up, and so ultimately we didn't get it until now. We're getting that move, but a big pullback here. Still holding half of my 10 share position, so 5 shares on this, and we'll see what this does. It's starting to find some support here, but any move lower on this, and I just don't know how much longer I can stay with this one. I do wish I had taken more profit up there at those highs up in at 180. But once we got that break of 180, my bias was like really starting to become 200, 200, 200. Like I really was thinking 200 was becoming the spot. So it's tempting to grab some profit here, but the reason that I'm not going to do that is because it looks like it's ramping back up, and I don't want to get out at the beginning of that next move higher, because while it has retraced pretty darn significantly, we know GameStop is a stock that in the past it has retraced it can have large retracements, like here for example, where it hit 200, came all the way back down to 133, and then by the end of the after-hours session it hit a high of 194. So we know anything can happen. We can definitely see it move still to 200. I just don't like how far it's moved down, and I don't like this wick upside. But and I don't like this huge engulfing red candle on the 5-minute chart. It's very ugly. It just might need more time to set up now, that's all. It just might need more time to set up. But I wouldn't complain about a move to 175 right now. A move to 175 right now, I'm going to set an order to sell one share at 174.99. I don't think we're going to get it. Screw it, 85 right there. So right now it's chopping around, and I'll give it a second here. It's pulling back. This is not unusual. This is a spot where you can easily get chopped out. Really, I think I'm going to hold probably the rest of this position until we either see a higher high or a higher low. One of those two things. So that means below 160 or above 180, we'll say. Obviously, it's closer to breaking below 160, and if I get out down there, I'll be upset for two reasons, which is that it can find support at 157 and still come up through 200. So sorry guys. Yeah, I'm gonna have to end this stream soon. I've got other things to do. I've been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes, guys. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button for me, man, I would appreciate that. This has been crazy. I was expecting just to go over my recap today of my trades, which I already did. You can go back in the video if you missed that, but that was really my plan on this video. And then GameStop, we started to see some activity and volume come in, so I actually took a position. I'm live trading it right now, small size. The only reason I have small size is because I've already done my trading today, and I lost a lot on it earlier, and all the choppiness and how it was terrible trading in here, looking for moves that weren't happening. So I lost a lot on it, so now I've decreased my size. But you can pretend I have larger size. What's a gorgeous move though? Got me some nice. What a gorgeous move though. Got me some nice profits. Still thinking 200. Yeah, I'm still thinking 200 too. But you can't let your bias cloud your vision. Definitely some choppiness in here, as to be expected as we consolidate in this range here. Yeah, we want to see some strength on this candle for sure. Because this is a nice setup. This green candle, this like very short few minute setup right here. You see this all the time. Green engulfing candle, doji here, red or green, and then that continuation. That's what we want to see. And we're getting that now. Okay, I'm gonna cancel this order as it's looking really strong. That move was more for like a kind of direct push to 175. We're getting that now. But we do want to see more volume. I don't like how volume is. Okay, so now some volume coming in here now. I just saw a big volume spike there. So some selling, it's taking a break, taking a breather. Little breather here. Little breather. But over 175, that's where we start to become bullish. That candle closed not so hot on that close. Oof. Come on now. Should have taken profit 175. I should have taken that share off, huh? But we want to see this candle flip green. Come on, let's get those buyers to step back up. Flip green. That would be great. Oof, not getting that big pullback here. Ugh. Don't love that. Don't love that. It doesn't really ruin the technical setup yet. Big pullback here. Wow. Oh, this is starting to become ugly now. This is a big rejection of 175. Okay, it's coming up again. See if I can take a share off there as it comes back up. Just because there is a risk that we get a flush here. There's still a risk of flush. But I like that the bid stepped up there. I don't like that I had to take a share off, but you got to do what you got to do. Again, I'm trading such small size right now that I'm willing to kind of just hold this and just look for that move, because I just feel like I have an inkling that we're going to see this stock at 200 today. You got out on that candle? You got out on that red candle? Took your profits? Yeah, that's a wise thing to do, but it held that this kind of line here, and it's coming back up, so we'll see what happens. Maybe it needs another test of 175, ramping back up. See if it can get that here. We need a nice green candle here. It doesn't need to go to 175 right now. It can do that on the next. It can do that in the next minute. Or if it wants to go now, it can go now. I'd kind of prefer that it wait and hold off. But yeah, I think it needs to trade sideways for a bit. It's been doing that. But yeah, I mean, the nice part about this is the 5-minute setup now, the 1-minute setup, all this looks good. Okay, so now it looks like we want to test 175 again. Here it goes. See if we can break 175. So, okay. 175, that's that first spot. And so that line is this high here. So now it's struggling at that level. We squeezed through it, and now we're struggling there. That technical resistance is, yeah, it looks like it wants to pop right now, huh? See, it's setting back up. See, you got chopped out on that pullback, but it's looking good here. I do think it can take more time if it wants. It can take more time, but not necessarily. Anything can happen. It can squeeze right now. So here's a little bit of a pullback here. I like this actually. This is fine. It just needs to not be too aggressive. It needs to stop right now. Buyers need to hold this back up. So yeah, right in this range. This is good. This is fine. Okay, I like this. I like this. Next candle. This is one where I think it can go. On this next candle, you got 4 seconds until this candle closes. Right here, this is a spot where if you were super aggressive, you take 50 shares right now. You take 50 shares right now and watch it go. Watch it go. You take 50 shares right there and watch it go through 175. Right here's the spot. Boom. Through 175. Boom. Where's the break? Boom. Volume. Come in. And break 175. Oh man, see, rejection. It's still struggling there. Still struggling. It needed to happen right there. That was the spot. It may ramp back up and try again, but that was the spot. Man, come on, GameStop. That was the spot, man. You missed it. You missed the train. This candle cannot go red. This is not. No. We do not accept this. Ugh. I'm taking one off on the bid there. I'm only holding 3 shares now. That was a spot for it to go. So If this candle closes green, there's a glimmer of hope. Okay, here we go. It'll probably have another chance here. Let's see if this candle can give it one more shot. This candle needs to flip green, and then needs to see 175, and it needs to break 175. Here we go. It's going to try again. It's going to try again. Here it goes. Here it goes. You see how I said, though, if you were really aggressive, you'd take that straight away, 50 shares, or whatever your share size is, you would take that break of 175, and it didn't work out, but if it did work out, it would have been awesome, because you would have gotten a quick snap to 180. Okay, so I still think that this looks good, and the reason why is this 5-minute setup looks really nice. You have this big candle back up, retest, and then back up, and now this candle is just kind of pulling back a little bit, but I would expect this to turn green and go through 175 right here. During this 5-minute candle, I would expect in the next 4 minutes, a break of 175 is coming. As buyers start to accumulate, support coming in, and here we go. Let's test 175 again. Why not? Let's go. Sellers trying to push it down, but here the buyers look strong. There's the break of 175. Now it needs to hold 175. That's important. So we're getting continuation, which is excellent. As high as we can go on this candle, the higher we can go, the better. We need a big breakout here. Let's make it a big breakout. Here we go. Big breakout. Let's get to 180. How about 180? Nope, struggling. Sellers pushing back down, and now below 175. That's a bad sign. Oh, I tried to get out on the bid there. No. Ah! See how big that rejection was? My goodness. So I'm only holding one share now. I got scared. I sold. But I mean, that was a failed break of 175. We needed a big breakout there. Sellers pushed it down, then we got a big flush. And now buyers stepping back up, and this is an interesting setup. Very interesting. So we'll see. Is it going to break 175 again? Going to try again? Maybe. It still has a few minutes to try. So we'll see. But it failed. That break failed. Here it comes again. Is it going to try one more time? Look, GameStop, if you go above 175 again, you need to hold that level, all right? You kind of need to hold that level. That's kind of important. So it has another shot to do it right here, 175. It's just, man, we got up to, what was the high of this candle? 178.50. Come on. Come on, buyers. Here we go. I think we're going to try 175 again, and it might happen for real this time, and I'll be pissed because I got chopped out, but double fake out both sides. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I got faked out of the second one. Got chopped out. Oh well. Here it's coming back down again. So it's hard to tell whether it's done or not, you know. I don't think it is, personally. I don't think it is. We're still just moving sideways. Still looks bullish. 2 wicks downside. Yeah. This looks nice. I'm going to end the stream in a second here, guys. If you haven't liked the video already, please hit the like button, man. I lost a lot today, and I was down 1,400. Now I've made like 250 bucks back on that trade with just 10 shares because I caught a big move with it. So you never know what can happen, you know. I wish I had taken more size. Hey guys, thanks for the likes, man. I appreciate that. Let's go. But this is still setting up. I still like this over 175. It just, the next time it breaks 175, how about we don't reject? How about we don't flush back down? So yeah, still just moving sideways. Nothing really to see here. But yeah, so that's the look. I think back of mind, 200 is the spot that you want to look for it. When I zoom out like this, I notice you have this wick up, this wick up. There's a couple wicks to the top side here, so that's just a little bit of context that it's struggled to hold these levels, and it is struggling right now. But the longer it hangs out here, the better it looks. The longer it hangs out here, the more value it's establishing here. You know, shares. Okay, this looks like a good setup here. If you wanted to take an entry, okay, well now this candle's coming back down red. But that did look nice for a minute there. That setup. Watch for this candle to close. If this candle closes green, I say punch the buy button. Well, I'm not giving you advice, but I like this. Boom. Rip through 175 on the next candle. I don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. But right now, it looks bullish. 200 is definitely the spot. Above 200, you've got resistance at 212. And you see what's happening to the daily chart right now is that it's been bought all the way back up from 100 to 170. And so we'll see what happens on it. But yeah, through 175, then through 180. And it needs to hold 180 if it is going to go above it. Obviously, here it rejected. And so, yeah. Alright, the line in the sand is 160. We don't want to see lower than 160 for sure. So, pretty juicy pullback here. You're not touching it anymore unless it goes parabolic. What do you buy at the top? You buy during parabolic moves. You need the entry before it goes parabolic. You need my entry in here, you know. I'll show my trades again. You need the anticipation of the break. You shouldn't be buying it here, you know what I mean? Even though it did go higher, it's just not a good entry spot because it's just as likely to continue higher as it is to flush. So you really want to get the entry before it goes parabolic. So I'll continue to watch this here, guys, but I'm going to end the stream. It's been over an hour and 30 minutes, which is crazy, unheard of for me. But I hope you guys liked it. If you did, hit the like button, because that's what the like button's there for. And look at this now, coming back up. Here we go. We need to see 175. That's the first spot. Anyway, I went over my trades. It's been a long video. We've just been watching this and trading it, so you got some live trading and everything. You don't buy at the top, but I want to see strength and price action. I always buy the pullback. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'll be continuing to watch this, and I've got one share left. Below 160, I'm going to cut it, and above 180, I'm going to hold it and look for 200, and yeah, that's it. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.